I think I could safely speak for the majority of Americans when I say I'm sick of politics. The last 6 years have been the most divided the country has ever been since the Civil War, which is frightening. Two political parties and their religious idolizers believing so firmly in their faith that they instantly chastise any other belief. Social media is an active and raging fire, devouring neighborhoods, families, and friends, with Fox News and CNN both stoking the flames with lies and half-truths. You're either left or right or wrong, racist or socialist. But that's not true. There is a group of people like myself that see the flaws in both sides. People that see the constant war of words and sometimes physical violence. That just want these extremists to practice what they preach and be more accepting. So, if America is sick of politics, why do we love the politics of Arcane? Piltover is an ever-expanding city with skyscrapers reaching closer towards the stars every day. Zaun, however, is a forgotten wasteland of the lower class. While the majority of Piltover citizens appear full of wealth and health, Zaun is filled with scavengers who are either poor, criminal, sick, or a combination of all three. Critics often view the show as a critique on capitalism, with the rich staying rich and the poor staying poor, with some exceptions like Victor. But I think it's much more than that. Arcane is a critique on America, whether that was the goal or not. If you didn't know, a poll was released a few months ago that showed 41% of US citizens, mostly Trump voters, wanted the country to split in two. The primary reason? Because both sides of the political spectrum want contrasting things. If Democrats want to fund something, Republicans will rebuke it, almost without reason, just because the libtards want to destroy our country. Likewise, when Trump suggested a certain virus was man-made in a Chinese laboratory, Democrats called him a racist. Fast forward 1 year, and Dr. Fauci says the same thing with no such labeling. Do you see what I mean? Arcane shows us an uncanny resemblance with its top and underside. Piltover thinks of the people of Zaun as beneath them, and Zaun hates Piltover because of their wealth and mistreatment. This even escalates to the show's climax, where the Council of Piltover vote and approve splitting the city in two. Is it sinking in yet? Arcane is not just a fantastic story of family and League of Legends characters, it's a warning sign. Even after Zaun gets their independence, what happens? War. Now, this city division isn't a new plot to Arcane. Technically, the prequel trilogy of Star Wars had a similar message. The Separatists fought for sovereignty from the Republic until an all-out war began. However, the difference here is that Arcane never glorifies one side over the other. The writers don't tell you how to think. You may have watched this show and completely rationalized Piltover's side of thinking. Another viewer may agree with Zaun's point of view more. The opinion that I and most people take from this show is this: both sides are flawed. Piltover shouldn't neglect their lower class, and Zaun shouldn't despise all of the upper class. A lesser show would have only focused on Vi and Jinx, fighting for the sovereignty of Zaun, but Arcane is better than this. Instead of preaching to you how to think, Jace and Victor represent the good of Piltover, two very different scientists from very different backgrounds working together and making literal magic. Jace begins his journey with heroic intentions, but falls victim to Mel's influence and becomes less and less focused on helping the poor. If Arcane was written with political bias, Jace would be the antagonist, not Silco, a man with extreme power and influence who gets out of exile because his family is rich, just like many politicians of America who own huge businesses. The option was clearly there, and Twitter, Vice, and BuzzFeed would praise it as stunning and brave, but at a huge narrative cost. Having Jace be another protagonist on the opposite side of Vi gives so much more depth to the story. It shows that not everyone in Piltover despises the lower class, and not everyone in Zaun hates the upper class. Arcane strives to find and highlight that middle ground, the gray area, and nothing demonstrates that more than Vi and the best character of the show, Anyway, Vi grows up poor, scavenging for pennies from topside. Caitlyn, on the other hand, is born to a wealthy house and chooses a career of law enforcement. At first, these two work together because they had to, but as they get to know each other, they begin to form a, very good friendship.
You're hot, Cupcake.
quick side note, if the story was written by High Guardian Spice writers, Arcane would focus on these two being gay. The fact that this is shown but not the focal point allows it to exist but not weigh down the actual plot. Please don't make Season 2 center around it. That would weaken the story so much, thank you. Getting back on topic though, Caitlyn sees the underside for the terrible and inhospitable place it actually is, while Vi sees that not everyone in Piltover is stuck up and uncaring. These two, starting out as polar opposites, become unified by their common ground, not split by their differences. Each stand on two sides of a political valley and build a bridge to meet in the middle. Arcane shows us through Vi and Caitlyn that we don't have to hate each other for our opposing beliefs. We can think differently and still get along. Whether it's social justice, financial situations, or religion, we all need to treat each other with respect. Respect to believe what we feel is right. Respect to be okay with people who think opposite of us. Forcing a message down people's throats won't win people over to your side. Politely stating your opinion and accepting that not everyone will agree is the correct way to present your beliefs. There's a really good example of this in Teen Titans. Starfire is being treated poorly by this alien named Val-Yor simply because she is a Tamaranian. He even uses a racist slur, Troc. At the end of the episode, Star saves his life and completes the mission. You would think this would change Val-Yor's mind, but it doesn't. His beliefs stay the same, and he leaves the Titans no different than when he arrived. Do you think Val-Yor would have denounced his racism if Starfire brutally attacked him? No! In fact, that would make it even worse. Differing beliefs and political disputes aren't solved by violence or forced messages, but politely standing firm on what you believe is right and understanding why someone disagrees with you. Of course, this doesn't always work, but a chance is better than no chance at all. Pineapple belongs on pizza. It really does. The most delicious pizza you can eat is with pineapples, and that's a fact. Anyone who disagrees is an alt-right racist fascist Nazi. Sounds ridiculous, right? This is exactly what journalists and news stations do, just with political themes instead of delicious pineapples. And if I keep aggressively telling you that pineapples belong on pizza, which they do, over and over, at every opportunity, bitterness and anger is sure to rebound. However, let's try a different method. I think pineapples taste great on pizza. Hawaiian pizza is my favorite kind. Ew, I hate pineapples on pizza. Alright, more for me, I guess. See, that was a peaceful way for me to state my opinion. I delivered my message in a way that didn't antagonize anyone who disagrees. Now it is up to them if they should respond in an antagonistic way. Sadly, with the media's gaslighting articles, half-truths, and outright lies, many Americans have fallen prey to their antagonizing thought process. Don't believe me? Answer this. How did you react to my subliminal messages throughout this section? The images of pineapple pizza and flashes of the word correct. Did those draw out a sense of frustration? I have no doubt that some of you were even tempted to leave a comment arguing with my opinion. This is what the media does to you. This is what the people of Piltover and Zon do to each other. And this is why we like the politics of Arcane. In an age where movies constantly shove agendas and political bias down our throats, Arcane delivers a wide view of its conflict, glorifying and demonizing neither side, but leaving it up to the viewer to decide what is right and what is wrong. Arcane is a warning for America. Don't hate your neighbor, coworker, family member, or friend for their differing beliefs, but understand what their goals are, why they think their beliefs are correct, and unite with your common ground. Don't close your mind and abrasively claim your way is right just because someone on the TV told you it is. Challenge your own views by searching for the answers, facts. Find strengths and faults in all theologies. It was our first president, George Washington, who once said, "United we stand, divided we fall. For all of our sakes, I hope we never see the fall." If you want to read my own story writing and stylistic art, check out my webtoon Demonico and Tapas book Symbiotic. Thanks for watching this video and leaving a like, subscribe and ring the bell to get notified of new videos, and click the link in the description to visit all of my socials and join the Discord. Until next time, peace out.